Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. But before we check out the charts, I just want to ask you to please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos, just like the daily Tesla and daily NVIDIA reports, daily analysis in the SPY, daily analysis in the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500 index, the NASDAQ 100 index, and Apple stock, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor, always looking for 20% moves or more on those underlying stocks. And you get to see all of this for free. We offer a 5-day free trial up front. So check out wickedstocks.com. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to start with kind of like the midterm, the 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week dynamic in this image. Now, we're not going to see either one of these points today, but we are likely to see one of the two over the next week or two. And both of them represent what I would call kind of midterm support and resistance. 152.30 has a little bit more meaning. It may, if tested, over the next week or two. And I might as well get to the point there. If we were to close today above 143.71, I would expect 152.30 within a week or two at the most, where we could top out through November, possibly the rest of the year. This is, after all, a 3-month channel structure. And from here, we could fall back to channel support. That is, this is not a channel just yet. It's just a trend line that forms the basis of the channel top. But from here, we could fall back into the 110s, 120s within a month or two of testing 152.30. Back to the downside, the 131.39 2-month channel bottom can contain selling until later November. And from here, we can round up within 2 to 3 or 3 to 5 weeks into the low 150s and climbing, where once again, we could top out through the rest of the year. We could fill out this wedge here between the low 130s and the low 150s through the month of November. And if we were to close below 131.39, we do then continue south into the 110s within 2 to 3, 3 to 5 weeks of doing so. So that is the big picture. And that is, I think constructed for, really presented for you 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week swing traders. That in essence is what it is. So let's take a look. I've already mentioned how upside today we have 143.71, that high settlement price, all-time high settlement price on the daily chart from about a week and a half ago. And it's performed pretty well over the last couple of days in containing buying pressures on a day-to-day basis. I don't see it as an area to short through the week, but certainly on a day trade basis. And it also is an upward pivot point if we were to close above it. Until then, though, we can ease back to a convergent channel structures that are presently in the 136 handle. And I consider this 3-star support. 136.85 to 136.96. I also think this area is in reach today if we break that low settlement price that was put out last week at 139.56. There's a lot going on in the 139 handle, I'll tell you. There's a 5/8 Fibonacci, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But 139.56, this spike high here from a couple of weeks ago, 139.60. So 139.56 can contain intraday selling pressures. Once tested, we can, within the day, rally up to 143.70. But if we break 139.56, we should test 136.85 to 136.96 today. These convergent structures are inside this 2-month channel bottom. And so I think for that reason alone, you can buy this not only on a daily, but perhaps weekly basis. We can round up from 136.85 back into not only 143.71, but back up to the low 150s within, a couple, 2-3 weeks of testing 136.85. So this right here is approximately 136.85 to 136.96. And I think you can imagine that if we were to test it today, within 2 weeks, we could push our way up into the low 150s and climbing. But if we do close today below 136.85, that sets up a test of 131.39 within 1 to 3 days, depending on volatility. Once again, 131.39 able to contain selling really into, I'm going to say, the middle of November into later November. And from here, we can round up into the low 150s within 3 to 5 weeks of testing. 131.39, as I said earlier, And yes, if we were to close over the next couple of weeks below 130, 139, that does set up the 110s as a 3 to 5 week downside objective. Upside today, pushing or opening, I doubt if we'll open above, but you never know. Pushing or opening above 143.71 does allow this 149.01 trend line. That would probably be it for the day. But if we close today above 143.71, we should, by the end of next week or sooner, test 152.30, which on the weekly chart comes in at 156.40. That is a narrowing zone of resistance that, if tested over the next week or two, can absorb buying through the month of November, possibly the balance of the year. And yes, last thing I'll say is if we were to close above 156.40 over the next few weeks, it merely indicates a 1 to 3 week bullish continuation to the 167.34 1-year channel top. This area actually converges by later December and can absorb buying through all of the first quarter. But I don't really expect to see 167.30 unless we push through 156.40. Sometimes these things present themselves clearly, but I just don't see it happening unless we get through 156.40. I think that pretty much rounds it out. I will leave you with this chart today, most appropriate to the downside anyway. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Wednesday's NVIDIA report. You have a great evening.